Good, happy Monday morning, September 13, 2021. I'm Riley King, and welcome to this Monday morning edition of The Morning Show with Riley King. It's time to rise and shine and grab that good cup of coffee, sit back, relax, and enjoy this Monday morning edition of The Morning Show with Riley King, where we have a little bit of everything for you in this program. So, let's get started. It's Monday, September 13, 2021. I hope you all enjoy this Monday edition of The Morning Show with Riley King. First up, travelers grounded in Newfoundland on 9/11 tell their story. Let's take a listen to that video from CBS News.
Friends would walk up to me and just be like, "What the f*** is in your mug?" And I would just tell them.
Finally tonight, when America was attacked on 9/11, 38 jetliners headed for the U.S. were diverted to the small town of Gander, Newfoundland. Locals called their sudden guests the Plane People. Well, in years since, the hospitality has never been forgotten. Jim DeFeedy of our Miami station, WFOR, explains.
It's almost a hi.
Hi. It's been 20 years since Roxanne Loper saw Bruce and Susan McLeod.
I have to go. Hi, sis.
Roxanne and her husband Clark were among the nearly 7,000 passengers stranded in Gander, Newfoundland on 9/11. Once on the ground, the passengers saw the horrors of that day. The folks in town were there to comfort them as they opened their doors for the better part of a week.
They would come to the Lions Club and say, "Hey, who needs a shower? Come over to my place."
We did what we had to do. People in need, and we were the ones to provide it.
A few weeks after 9/11, I went to Gander and wrote the book The Day the World Came to Town, about the kindness shown to the Plane People, as the folks in town referred to their unexpected guests.
Let's make these people honorary Newfoundland!
The Broadway musical Come From Away recounted this remarkable tale.
You've seen people coming up to passengers, locals, and giving them that hug. Don't you worry about a thing, we got you.
Oz Fudge was the town constable in Gander on 9/11, and one of the first people I met.
If you look at the world today, and you look at what's happening, and you see on the TV, and you see on your Facebook and everything, how people are getting angry at each other. And they're fighting on airplanes, and they're fighting on trains, and they're fighting in grocery stores. And now people are looking at this play and reading the books and seeing the documentaries and going, I remember. That's what it was like when I was growing up. And they're longing for that.
For Roxanne, 9/11 was an especially scary time. She was bringing home Alexandra, a 2-year-old infant she adopted in Kazakhstan. Now 22, Alexandra is well aware of what happened on that fateful day.
I've tried to instill in all of my kids to continue with that kindness. You know, anytime they see anyone that needs any help, we don't know their story. We don't know what they're going through. We just know they need help. So help them.
Reporting for CBS News, I'm Jim DeFeedy, Miami.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Minnesota town braces for outsourcing of factory that makes MLB gear. Let's take a listen to that video from CBS News.
Hello, we're 21 Pilots, and we're going to be playing a virtual concert exclusively on Roblox. To join the experience, just click on the link to install the free Roblox app and create an avatar to sign up. It's going to be sweet. Don't miss it.
Major League Baseball is facing accusations of foul play, and it's coming from a small Minnesota town that's about to lose a critical part of its local economy. We get more now from CBS's Chris Van Cleve.
Every crack of a big league bat used to spark a sense of pride in Caledonia, Minnesota, knowing the batting helmet on every pro baseball player's head was made in this small town of 2,800. But the Mikan factory that's provided good-paying jobs for over 2 decades will soon close. The bulk of the jobs shipped to China.
It's infuriating. It's America's game.
Sarah Glassrud owns Good Times, the restaurant and bar across the street from the factory. She fears its closure will bring anything but good times. Mikan makes up about a quarter of her business.
It was difficult before the pandemic hit. It's even going to be more difficult now.
But what really has folks here crying foul is just who is outsourcing this community's lifeblood. Once family-run, Mikan was bought by Rawlings, which is now partially owned by Major League Baseball.
That's what they're after, the buck. It's just not right. And now to establish like that and move that to China yet too, it's just... I think they're going to lose a lot of fans.
MLB stresses the batting helmets will still be made in the U.S., adding it owns less than 20% of Rawlings and does not have a role in the day-to-day business operations. The helmet work will shift to Missouri, but most of the 80 jobs in Caledonia will be lost to China, saving Rawlings at least $4 million a year.
I just keep thinking, what would happen if the commissioner of baseball called up the guy who runs his companies and he says, hey, I don't think we should do this.
And at the county fair, uncertainty hung over the thrill rides and fried foods. Kari and Jerome Newman have called Caledonia home for decades.
We're very proud of that company, and it's very sad that the new owners are not going to respect that small town work ethic, and that they're just going to move it to China for more money.
Not good for the people in this community, and with this COVID stuff going around, we've lost so many businesses.
Mikan executives here in Minnesota didn't want to talk to us, but they are continuing discussions with local leaders about possible opportunities to keep the factory open. That said, they're also moving forward with their plan to shut it down.
Now one small town's field of dreams risks striking out and turning into an economic nightmare. Chris Van Cleve, CBS News, Caledonia, Minnesota.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Biden to campaign for California Governor Gavin Newsom in recall election. Let's take a listen to that video from CBS News.
Remember when feminine hygiene ads were like this?
Please, Fred, don't leave.
Peggy's husband might have stayed if she wasn't so careless about...
Tomorrow, President Biden heads to California to support Governor Gavin Newsom. He's facing a recall vote Tuesday in an extraordinary election fueled by the pandemic and more. CBS's Anna Warner is in San Francisco with the state of the race.
We believe in science. We believe in public health.
Governor Gavin Newsom says this recall election is about life and death because of what his chief opponent, conservative radio talk show host Larry Elder, is promising to do.
When I become governor, if there are still state mandates for face masks for vaccines, they're going to be repealed.
Larry Elder wants to walk us on that same COVID cliff as Texas and Florida.
Newsom imposed strict safety measures and shut down certain businesses in March 2020 as COVID cases began to rise.
A statewide order for people to stay at home.
That's when recall opponents got help from some small business owners and people out of work to gather the 1.5 million signatures necessary to force a recall vote.
We want to open up California. It's time.
But a poll released Friday by UC Berkeley's Institute of Governmental Studies shows Newsom with a distinct advantage now. 60.1% of likely voters polled said they were not in favor of recalling Newsom, a roughly 22-point advantage over the 38.5% planning to vote to remove him from office. That's a really good indicator for Governor Newsom.
He's got a big early lead.
Poll director Mark DiCamillo says Democratic voters are waking up to what he calls the potential risk of electing a conservative Republican.
It's that risk. Rather than just a popularity contest, it's really now more about the issues and how those issues affect me and my family. I think that's really kind of sunk in.
The Newsom camp is amping up those messages.
Voting yes elects an anti-vaccine Trump Republican.
Vote no.
and recruiting top Democrats to come to Newsom's aid.
Hello, Californians.
Including President Obama with this message.
Your vote could be the difference between protecting our kids and putting them at risk.
Newsom, though, has had to contend with his own pandemic contradiction. He was caught on camera without a mask at a posh Napa Valley restaurant after he imposed rules. He apologized and now says this recall vote is about much more than just him.
Because my name may appear on the ballot, but we're all on the ballot. Our principles, our values are on the ballot.
Who will come out on top is still in question, but one thing that isn't is the amount of money California taxpayers will have shelled out to pay for this special recall election, more than $200 million. Anna Werner, CBS News, San Francisco.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. And we are going to switch gears now, and let's go into weather. And here is a look at the weather across the United States for this Monday. As you can see in the green here, you got rain/thunderstorms. In the yellow, severe thunderstorms possible. And in the red, heavy rain/flash flooding possible. And then you see a little icon here, some hurricane as well over here. But otherwise, over here, over here, over here, and over here, and over here, and over here is all dry. And a little bit of rain in New Hampshire, as you can see as well. Otherwise, mostly dry in the other parts of the United States. And that is a look at your weather for this Monday. Happy Monday, everyone. And let's switch gears now. And let's take a look at this. Teenage phenoms drew spotlight in the U.S. Open Women's Final. Let's take a look at that right now.
Amazing U.S. Open Women's Final. Two teenage upstarts facing off against each other after beating top tennis stars to get there. ABC's Zachary Keish is here with all the highlights. Good morning to you, Zachary.
Eva, good morning to you as well. What an incredible match. One of the things that makes it so special is the timing, right? Both of these women still so young, in many ways ahead of their time. The other piece is the space, right? The U.S. Open. Kids just aren't supposed to perform like this on one of the biggest stages in tennis. At the end of the day, you have two folks, unknowns, really underdogs, that come in and leave in the winner's circle.
This morning, there's a new teen on top of tennis. The remarkable Emma Radacano. You might never see this again.
In her second major event, Emma Radacano, just 18 years old, did the unthinkable.
She can do no wrong right now.
Emma and competitor Leylah Fernandez entered the tournament as unknowns. Then they both chopped down pillars of the game.
Another misfortune. The set goes to Fernandez.
And they were fighters to the finish. On Saturday, Radacano had the moment and incredible shots like this.
That is not an easy shot to hit.
But Leylah never let go.
Over there just smiling and enjoying the moment, even though they're competing so ferociously.
Thanking New York fans for their support and offering the city some of her own.
I know on this day, it was especially hard for New York and everyone around the United States. I just want to say that I hope I can be as strong and as resilient as New York.
A young woman glowing on the biggest stage. Radacano's family cheering her on from across the pond. Now she has her place at the top of tennis. The royal family congratulating Emma on that victory. The UK is certainly proud to have a women's Grand Slam champ. And just think of the journey that she's been on. Last year, her tennis club closes. She's outside of her family home in the cul-de-sac, hitting balls with her father. And now she leaves Flushing Meadows $2.5 million richer. Eva?
And she is 18 years old.
Yeah. Can't forget that.
Both of those young ladies did such a good job and carried themselves with such grace and poise through the whole tournament.
Leo Fernandez was really eloquent in defeat, I thought. Absolutely.
Yes.
Well, hey there, GMA fans. Rob.
Okay, there you go. Very cool indeed. Congratulations to her. And we are going to switch gears now, and let's go into some entertainment news. And in entertainment news, 2021 MTV VMA's wildest moments from fights to performances. Let's take a look at that right now.
I served 2 tours in Iraq and 3 in Afghanistan. Senator Hassan, she doesn't just look at a Republican veteran or a Democratic veteran. She says they're a veteran, they all fought for this country, and she'll work with anyone to solve issues for veterans.
The 2021 MTV VMAs was full of fun and fantastic moments, kicking off with a surprise appearance by the OG Material Girl, Madonna. Madonna shocked fans by showing up as the opening act and introducing Justin Bieber, who hadn't performed at the award show since 2015. Justin also scooped up the Artist of the Year award.
Music is such an amazing opportunity and an amazing outlet to be able to reach people and to be able to bring us all together. And that's why we're here right now, right? We're all here together, and we got a lot more in common than we don't.
It was a big night for performances. Normani set the stage on fire with her performance of Wild Side, while Busta Rhymes brought the feeling of nostalgia performing a slew of his major hits. And the Foo Fighters made it a rock show, jamming out to their biggest hits while picking up the Global Icon Award. Olivia Rodrigo had a massive night, winning Best Song and Best New Artist. The night wasn't without other surprises, too. Off the stage, Machine Gun Kelly and Conor McGregor seemed to get into some sort of a skirmish, while Megan Fox turned heads in a nearly nude dress. And Kourtney Kardashian and Travis Barker packed on the PDA with multiple red carpet lip locks. Access Hollywood also had quite the time on the red carpet at the event. We chatted with multiple stars who shared their excitement for Britney Spears, who had just gotten engaged to Sam Asghari.
I'm super excited. I mean, I've known her since she was 12 years old, so and I know she loves hard, right? So I'm so excited that she is now going to marry the love of her life. He seems like, I've never met him, but he seems like a sweet, sweet guy, and I could not be more happy. So I can't wait for my invite.
Brittany's engaged? Congratulations, Brittany. Of course. I mean, would the VMAs even be here without Brittany? Yeah.
You guys know Britney Spears was engaged?
No,
I did not, but good for her. I had to ask everyone.
That's awesome.
You're happy, right?
Of course. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, and there you go. And that does it for this edition of The Morning Show with Riley King. Thank you for watching, and have a great rest of your day, everyone. See you back here tomorrow for another edition of The Morning Show with Riley King. Bye now.